Hello everyone, welcome back to Real Reds Talk, the #1 independent fan channel dedicated to Manchester United. This is your preview for the match against Fulham at Craven Cottage tomorrow in the Premier League. On the show today, we've got Shreyas and Sam. Shreyas, how are your exams going, pal?
Yeah, they're going well. My final week now, 14 to 18. So, yes, I'll be independent soon. I'll be happy soon, and you can see me a lot back
Be
on this
happy.
channel. It has been a dark, age for me, I would say.
Yeah.
These past few weeks, it has been tough. But yeah, it is going to get better soon. How are you doing, Nick?
I'm really well, yeah. Just a busy day today, very, very busy day. Lots of things to do. So we've always got to put a show in there somewhere. Do you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
doing well. Anything planned this weekend, Sam?
Going to see Black Panther tonight. Wakanda forever. So that'll be cool.
Got to throw that in there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Wakanda forever.
And obviously we have the Fulham game on Sunday, so I'll be around for the review for that. So hopefully we sign off with a win. And then busy week at work, and then the World Cup starts. So it's all good kicking off.
Absolutely. It's all popping off at the minute. Don't forget, guys, if you want to subscribe to our wonderful YouTube channel, just click the shiny red button in the bottom right-hand corner and smash a like on the video as well, if you're up for it. Just to let you know as well, for anyone currently watching, we are taking part in a Movember challenge this month, raising money for a mental health charity called Mind. If you would like to make a donation, the link is in our Instagram, and thank you for the donations that have already been made. Usually, I do start off with a bit of trivia, or start off with, which I know Sam absolutely loves. But I've switched it up. I've got a bit easier this weekend, and I'm just purely going to ask you guys a series of questions on Fulham and just ask for your opinion on it. So the first question I've got for you is, and anyone can take this: would you take Mitrovic at United as a starting striker?
As a starting striker, no. As a bench option, I think he'd be all right. I think he'd be decent.
How much do you think it'd cost, Reyes?
If United goes in for him, 50 million. If any other club goes in for him, 20 million.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of him, though? Do you like him as a player, Mitrovic?
I think he's decent for Fulham. I think he could be decent for another club as well, but I don't think he'll fit what Ten Hag is trying to build.
Okay. Mobility could be an issue there, couldn't it? What about yourself, Sam?
I mean, his goal scoring record is decent. I think he's got a good record. But like you said, is it that Fulham team? Because everything goes through him, doesn't it, really? It's all sort of geared towards him, much like a sort of Harry Kane-focused attack. Does it work when he has to become part of like a unit and a team like Ten Hag's trying to build? Maybe not. So I think there's better options out there. I don't think he's a bad choice. Like if
9 goals this season.
Yeah, if it was him or nothing, then you're gonna be like, yeah, fine, I'm all right with that. But I think there's better options out there.
Okay. Next up, are there any players you would take from Fulham, past or present, and put into this team right now?
Well,
you can think of.
We took Van der Sar. He was probably arguing.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Players.
You could throw him in if you want to throw him in.
That's
what I mean. Players we've had.
Van der Sar was very, very good. He was fantastic. And Berbatov went to Fulham from us, so
yeah.
There's that.
Would you have him back in this team now, though? This is my question. Would you put him in this team?
I think he'd perform better than Ronaldo. He'd do better than Ronaldo. So
I think Maguire up front could potentially score a goal. To be fair.
Yeah.
Same amount as Ronaldo. We've got a couple more. Louis Saha.
Oh yes.
Very, very good player.
It's just a shame he was so injured all the time. Because I think without injury,
what a player though.
Without injury, he could have been our next Andy Cole. I think he could have been really, really good. But just injury just ravaged him.
I think Gary Neville said he was the hardest player he's ever played against in training. He just got absolutely shredded by him all the time.
Here's a shout for the past. I don't know if you remember this player, Nick. Louis Boamorte.
Boamorte, yeah. I
played
remember.
for Fulham.
That was very early days for me though, when I first started getting into football.
Was they even born?
I don't know if you might not be.
What year were you born, Shreyas?
2003.
Oh my god.
Oh, you might have missed him then. You might have missed him.
I think it was around that area. You probably was just a young nipper. A couple more we've got in there. For Smalling, played for Fulham as well. Would you take Smalling back?
He's doing well. He's doing well at Italy. From Roma, isn't he? He's doing well. So
yeah, I would have taken him over Maguire. Anyway, Fabio Carvalho, who signed for Liverpool, I think he's a good player, potentially young as well. And then there's one more who I actually never knew he played, and it's a massive one. I never knew he played for Fulham. George Best.
Did he play for Fulham? Before United? After United?
After United, I think it was.
United.
Oh wait, no, it would have been before United, I think. But I just saw it before. I was looking up because obviously from the 90s onwards, I kind of remember what. But I was interested to see who else had played, and George Best, played for Fulham. So he's a player I'd certainly take back 100%. He's like the 1960s, 70s fucking Anthony right now. Yeah. Proper skillful player.
But we've got interesting link for me and Shreyas because we're both pro wrestling fans. The guy who owns Fulham, he also owns AEW, which is like a wrestling organization.
Yeah, Tony Khan.
Tony Khan. He owns
Fulham.
Yeah,
Tony Khan.
So.
No way.
Yeah.
So. Maybe we'll get some elbow drops tomorrow from Lissandro then. Who knows?
Drop kick Andreas in the face.
Yeah.
He got a bit of a drop kick on Thursday, didn't he, Lissandro? Off Leon Bailey, was it?
Yeah.
Should have been sent off for that. Should have been sent off.
But loved it.
Yeah. Finally, where do you think Fulham will finish the season?
12th.
Mid-table at the minute, the 10th at the minute. 1-5, lost
12th,
5.
13th,
12th.
something like that. Around there.
But you think they'll stay up, yeah?
Yeah, I think they'll be alright.
Okay, interesting. Right then, that's done. That little segment. Let's turn our attention to the game. It's the last game before the World, which I'm going to call it now, the World Corrupts. I think that's a more fitting name for it. Yeah, thanks. I'll take that. Fulham, quite a surprise package this season, doing relatively well under Marco Silva. In the last game, they pushed City all the way to the end. I think it was a game when Cancelo got sent off and got me minus points in the FPL, so thank you for that. But they pushed City all the way to the end. They beat the likes of Brighton. They drew with Liverpool, I think, at the start of the season. So they're certainly, in regards to their performances in the Premier League this season, they're punching above the weight. And as we know, in the Premier League, there are no easy games, should I say, unless you're Brentford, who's just beat Man City, by the way. So, well done to Ivan Toney for scoring a couple. Could have had a hat-trick as well. So,
by the way,
why
is he not going in the England squad? Don't know.
Another one. He should be. I said I would have took him over Wilson because I think Callum Wilson is a purple patch player and I think he's injury prone as well. So I would have took Ivan Toney.
I would have took Ivan Toney because originally I would have took Tammy Abraham, but he's not played well this season. So Ivan Toney for me. But...
Absolutely. In regards to our performances, United bounced back against Aston Villa on Thursday night in the Cup with an entertaining 4-2 win over Unai Emery's men. And we're advancing into the next round with that. We still have a relatively good run of form in the Premier League as well. Hit a few hurdles for sure with set games like Newcastle and stuff. But you would think with this being the last game before the World Cup, you got to give it everything now. One last push before we head off for the tournament. With injuries and fitness, I'm not sure what's going on with this because Ten Hag hasn't clarified it again. So I don't know if Sancho and Antony, I'm not sure if you guys have heard anything either about them two, whether they're available or fit or not. Don't know if Sancho's still ill. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't train with the squad, so he said clearly already in the World Corrupt and he wants to go over to there.
We said, didn't we, Nick? We think a couple of players said they're injured or ill because they want to play in the World Cup but don't want to get injured. Antony might be one of them, Ronaldo another one, so yeah.
We're gonna touch on Ronaldo a little bit later on, and then for Fulham, they're obviously without Mitrovic, and I think Reed is out for them as well in the midfield.
Yeah, Harrison Reed is out.
Yeah, both important players for them. So both teams missing a couple of key players. Fulham are winless in 14 matches against United in all competitions since a 3-0 win in December 2009. So when we look at the head-to-head, our record's relatively decent. We'll come back to Ronaldo now, Sam. Do you think it's the last time we see him in a United shirt?
Probably not, because who buys him? Like, be an honest question. Name me a team who's going to come in for him.
I think
pay a fee for him because the Glazers not letting him go without a fee being paid.
And I think he can leave on a free now, though. I think.
No, he can sign a pre-contract in January, but he can't leave.
But I don't know if you can do that because we've got an extra year to extend if we wanted to.
We have an option.
I don't know if that option negates the fact that he can
Maybe.
sign a pre-contract or not,
Maybe.
or if it's down to us or if it's in.
But yeah, who pays a fee for him? I don't see anybody doing it. And then who pays his wages? Because
Especially looking at his performances this season,
yeah,
who's going to pay 375 grand?
Yeah, he's playing 375k for that. For what has he got? 2 goals? 2 goals? Like
1 goal in the Prem.
Yeah,
yeah, and 2 in the Europa.
Yeah, so it's not form worth paying money for, even if you are Cristiano Ronaldo. Like, so I don't see who comes in for him unless the unthinkable happens and we just do a mutual termination of his contract.
Don't see the Glazers doing that.
I don't see the Glazers doing that, but there would be an advantage to it because you'd free up 375k a week in wages, which means you could probably get in somebody like Gakpo because he's not going to be on massive wages at PSV, I don't imagine, and then we give him a little bump to get him in the door, but he's not going to be on a massive amount, so it would work for all parties involved. But yeah, I don't see the Glazers doing that.
I wonder how much United would lose out though on with Ronaldo going, with the amount of eyeballs that are on the club and how much shirts he sells and things like that. Maybe that'll have a slight knock-on effect. I don't know. And if it does, I imagine the Glazers won't sanction it, especially Joe Glazer, because he apparently was the guy in the summer who was like, no, I don't want to let him go.
Maybe because Ten Hag's convinced them to spend more money in the summer, which they weren't going to spend. So maybe he's now, with the results he's got and the way he's got them playing and the way they're playing without Ronaldo in the team, maybe he can then convince them, look, this guy is a detriment to the team. Like, we need to let him go. Maybe because he's convinced them of things we never thought. Like I said in the summer, there's no way we're getting more than 3-4 players, and we ended up getting what 7, 6. So
Antony, Casemiro, Lissandro, Eriksen, Malacia, 5.
Right. So I didn't think we're getting that many. I didn't think we were going to spend that amount of money. Oh, Antony, 6. Did you say Antony?
As I said,
Antony's 5.
Yeah, 5. So I didn't think we were going to spend that amount of money, but apparently Ten Hag has spoke to them and said, no, this is what I need. So maybe he can get in their ear and be like, look, it might cost you a hit in merch sales and all that sort of stuff, but if you get rid of him and allow me to bring in a striker, then I can win stuff. I can win trophies, which then puts you on top, which means you earn more money if you're winning trophies, and your sort of stature goes up because you're winning things. So maybe he's in the air. I don't know, because we're not privy to that sort of stuff. But if it's up to the Glazers, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a big hit for tomorrow's game anyway, if I'm being completely honest. Like, I'm not going to miss him, which is a weird thing to say about Ronaldo. Strayers, what do you make of Fulham since they've been promoted to the league? You a fan? Do you like the way they play? Like, talk to me.
I think they definitely, I think one of the good things about Fulham this season has been they know how to counter the team that they actually play against. If you see the first game that they played against Liverpool, they knew how they could actually counter Liverpool. And if, they weren't a bit unlucky at the end, they could have actually beaten Liverpool. So, and except that as well, in the other games that they've played this season as well, you cannot predict actually the way Fulham is going to play. You might be able to, understand some of the ways, like how they use Andreas Pereira, how they like to, use Mitrovic and Palhinha and Harrison Reed as a pivot, but you can't read how they actually, are going to turn up for a game, because most of the times, especially when they play against a big 6 team, they like to, just disrupt the way the opponent plays football. And that's what they've been doing throughout the season. And it's been working well for them as well. So I think it will be a competitive game, considering we are still not in a position where I would say that, these are the sort of games where we can win comfortably, or we can rotate, or, the players are capable enough that even if we don't perform well, we can win those games, because we've just seen what happens when our players are not up for it. We get completely battered. So I think it will be a tough game. And Ten Hag would have to make certain calls in this game as well, considering we've just played in the cup game as well, and we've seen some of our key first team players used in that game as well. So fatigue could once again be another thing that might be coming in. You never know if there's another player, who might not actually want to play this game, because the World Cup is, within this week. It's after tomorrow it's just like 7 days. So which player would, actually want to sacrifice a position in the World Cup by overexerting themselves.
Yeah, it's definitely a psychological factor there. I remember posing a question like that to Severe. I think it's having an effect on a lot of the players, to be honest. Yeah, you make a good point there. You also mentioned someone like Andreas Pereira, and Sam, I want to come to you on him because we've joked many a times on this channel about Pereira saying he's still in pre-season, but he seems to be doing relatively well for him. He's got 2 goals, 4 assists from the midfield position, and he's become an important player for him. Do you think United was just a case, just too much pressure for him? Kind of a small fish in a big pond, let's say.
I think he's found his level, hasn't he? Like, this is his level.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's been several players who've come to Man United and then either the stature of the team or the intensity or the scrutiny or whatever it is at Man United, and they've flopped. And it doesn't mean they're bad players, it just means they're not right for Man United and they can't handle it at Manchester United. Wilfried Zaha was a good example. He looks like he's absolutely doing bits at Crystal Palace when he plays, but couldn't hack it at United. And then every time a big move's come up, it's never really happened, has it? Like, there was interest from Everton, Arsenal.
I think he's on a free this summer now.
Yeah.
But like, how old is he? What is he? 30 now?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to be late 20s, hasn't he, at least? Sure.
30, yeah.
He's probably missed his opportunity to play his prime years in the Champions League or what have you. So yeah, I just think the team was too big and his quality. I think to play for someone like Manchester United, especially with the scrutiny we get, you have to be top tier. Otherwise, you just get absolutely slandered. Like, you've seen it with Phil Jones, you've seen it with Maguire because his levels have dropped, getting absolute pelters. But then you see how good the people are who are actually world class. People like Casemiro, you can see how good that guy is. You can see how good someone like Lisandro Martinez is, Tony Marshall, stuff like that. These are the players who, like, when it comes to it, they'll show the quality. And Andres Pereira never showed that for us. He showed glimpses in pre-season, but then when it came to the actual games that matter, just it wasn't there. It was like, what did we describe it as? Like a puppy running around, just not knowing what to do. And then he gets the ball and kind of just gets too excited and then tries to ping one in from 40 yards and just never works. So I think he's found his level and good for him. I'm glad that he's found the team that he's playing well in and it works well for him and he's contributing and stuff. Really good for him. But yeah, the club was too big and the pressure and stuff was just too big for him. But he's doing well, so good on him.
I remember him coming up for the youth team, and I remember watching him thinking he's going to be a baller. He's going to be an absolute baller. But at that level, decision making and certain things will predict where you kind of go as a player. I want to ask you a question, Treyas, but I just want to very quickly see how the Scousers are doing. 3-1 up now. Nunez has scored again. Bournemouth beating Everton. Leeds beating Spurs now. They've scored another, so that could be a positive for us. We're only 1 point. If we win our game, 1 point behind, I think. So very interesting there.
Chelsea,
I don't like Leeds, but
Chelsea Newcastle later as well. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, so a couple of results could go our way there, aside from the Liverpool one. As just mentioned there, Strayas, if we do win, we go 1 point behind 4th place Spurs with a game in hand. How is your confidence for top 4 feeling at the minute?
I mean, going in just about the next fixture, yes, top 4 is achievable. Going in and talking it about as a whole season throughout, no, still no.
You and Sam on the same page on that?
Yeah.
Both of you don't think we get top 4 in it?
Yeah.
Severe as well. Severe thinks we're
Am I the only one on the channel?
Me and Severe think
the only believer.
So.
Sorry, continue, Shreyas.
Yeah, I think this next fixture could be good for us because, like you mentioned, you've got Chelsea and Newcastle to look at as well. If Spurs actually drop points, it would actually be really, really good for us. And yeah, except that I think against Fulham, considering they've got Mitrovic out, considering they might also not have Harrison Reed, this is the perfect opportunity for us to actually, gain those 3 points. I mean, if we could have gotten even a draw against Villa last week, our situation would have been much, much better, which you could just see right now. If we could have had that 1 point or even those 3 points, we would have been pretty much in the 3rd position. So yeah, I think once again, these small games do matter, especially against teams like Villa, Fulham, Bournemouth. These games are going to kick in. We're going to be seeing more of these fixtures, and hopefully we don't slip up more points. I expected us to slip up in certain fixtures because once again we don't really have the squad depth. We don't really
Yeah.
have the same quality that we have on the first team if you compare it to the bench. And I mean, in the cup game as well, we saw how much Eriksen is actually important to us. How much we need Bruno to actually just play as a 10 and not as a winger. So
Mm.
we still need investment. We still need certain areas wherein the manager does need a lot of backing. We need someone to replace Dalot at times as well because he's been practically playing every game. Finally, he gets a rest, which is a
Yeah.
good sign before the World Cup.
But he don't get it because he wants to. He gets it
Yeah,
because he
because
got a
he's
fucking
suspended.
yellow card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting as to who Ten Hag actually picks to play at the right back position as well. Will we be seeing Wan-Bissaka or will we be seeing Lindelof or
It's going to be
David
Lindelof.
Malacia?
I've got a feeling it's
Yeah.
going to be Lindelof.
Yeah.
I really do.
I mean, he can play right back. We've seen it.
I think it'd be Malacia.
Can he?
I think it's
Can he play
Malacia.
right back? I don't think anyone
I
right
think
back apart from Dalot. That's why he's played there so much.
I think it's Malacia who plays at right back.
Yeah.
Because he
Yeah.
did it in the thingy game, so I think he ends up going there.
It's going to be interesting with team selection. One person, you know what? I'm going to ask Sam a question. What do you think I'm going to ask him a question on?
Garnacho?
What do you think it's going to be on? Yeah. One person who lit it up on Thursday night, obviously we was both there to witness it live, Sam, was Alejandro Garnacho. Does he start tomorrow?
I think he should. He's not going to the World Cup, which I think is a bit of a gutting thing. I think arguably he deserves
Unless
it.
he does, though.
Yeah.
He's not playing for a minute for Man United, but sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he deserves to go to. But if he's not going to the World Cup, why not play him? Like he's going to have a rest anyway, isn't he? So why not chuck him in?
Fresh.
If Sancho is, I don't know what's wrong with Sancho if he's not there, and then Anthony don't want to risk himself because of the World Cup, so you've got that spot open. So I imagine Marcus Rashford will probably end up on the right, and then you'll have Garnacho on the left. That's what I imagine will happen.
Don't like Rashford on the right, man.
I know, but we haven't got the squad depth, mate, to deal with it. So I imagine that's probably going to happen. I think he's had a really good last couple of weeks for United. I think he's been fantastic. The directness of his play, the dribbling, the runs, the passing, like that pass that he put on for Scott McTominay on the fourth goal was stunning, absolutely stunning. I think Eriksen. I hope Eriksen taught him that one because that was an Eriksen type pass. That was insane.
De Bruyne, like really.
Exactly. So I think he deserves to start. He definitely does. I can't sing the guy's praises enough, and I hope his attitude stays in check, and I hope he puts his head down and works hard over this break now. Usually going to have people like him, Lindelof, Donny, Sancho, in and around doing these friendlies, and I hope he just gets his head down and just learns everything he can from Ten Hag and improves, and then when it comes to December, when we go again, he's raring to fucking go, and we've got another option then to play. So yeah, I can't sing his praises enough. He's been fantastic.
Just sorry, on his attitude, he requested a personal fit, strength and conditioning program because he wanted to bulk up for the Premier League recently. I've seen a report on that or something. So he seems to have changed his ways. I know he did turn up to a couple of meetings late, and there was reports from youth coaches that were saying this on them reports, saying stuff like he does turn up late. Sometimes boots not tied and all this kind of stuff. But Ten Hag, as we know, is a disciplinary.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. Disciplinarian.
So yeah.
Well, there's rumours as well, isn't there? The reason Sancho is out of favour in England because he's been late to meetings quite a lot. Ooh. And I think it was in the Athletic, I believe. Sancho has been late to meetings. He did it in the under-21s for England, and then he was doing it under Southgate as well. And Southgate, the way he runs meetings and stuff like that is the meeting doesn't start until everybody was there. So a lot of the people who were already there were waiting for him, were getting pissed off with him.
Ooh.
And that didn't help his selection. Obviously, he's been out of form as well at United, so that's two things gone against him for the England selection. So I don't know if that's right. I don't know if that's happening behind the scenes at United. I don't know if he's doing that. And that's maybe why we've not heard anything, and that's why he's just gone. Oh, he's ill. But that's kind of all we got. Yeah. Maybe there's something happening behind the scenes, similar to Garnacho. Maybe his attitude's not right. Maybe his head's not right. I'm not sure. So that could be going on as well with Sancho behind the scenes. But yeah, if Garnacho's going, he wants to do the right things and stuff. Great news. I look forward to it. I look forward to the guy getting better and better.
Absolutely. Sticking with the attack, Treyas, Anthony Martial back in the side now. Got a goal again on Thursday. That's 4 goals with 4 shots on target. Like, super clinical. How important will it be to keep him fit in terms of what we're trying to achieve this season?
I think he definitely needs to work on his fitness, and I think now that he's not going to the World Cup with France, I think this is the time that he should actually, really like buckle down and work on his fitness, because we can't, afford to have him being injured for the remainder of the season as well. We've already been struggling because of it. We don't have those that many options. And I think for Martial himself as well, I think if he gets injured again, I think that would be his career done at Manchester United, because you just can't bank on him. And Ten
A bit
Hag
like
wouldn't
that.
really. And Ten Hag wouldn't really want to work with a sort of player who he does like the profile. He knows that he could work in his system, but he's just never there. Like, he could play a couple of games, and then for a couple of months he's again injured, and you cannot work like that. Especially if you want to make it to the top 4, make it into competitions like the Champions League and run deep in those competitions as well. You can't afford to have your first team striker being out
Yeah.
for 2 or 4 months every single season. That's not a position that we are in right now. So for him, I think for his own career as well, he definitely needs to work on his fitness. Him being available definitely helps us out a lot, because I think whenever Martial is playing, I see Rashford much sharper. I see Bruno much sharper as well.
Everyone,
The moment,
it's just
yeah,
it's so much better.
and
And Ronaldo has the opposite effect.
exactly. So I think I think right now he gels up with the squad much better,
Yeah.
and he's able to, completely link up the midfield as well as the back. Like, every single person, Eriksen, you could see Bruno, you could see Rashford, Garnacho, every single person, whenever Martial has been playing as a number 9 for us, they all, seem to just go up a level. Which you would want from your striker, just to elevate the levels of the players who are playing alongside him. Definitely gives us an edge over Fulham if he does feature for us. So I think Martial definitely needs to. I think he's a player before replacing any other player. I would say we definitely need to have a keen look at him, because if he gets injured again, we actually have to scout another striker. We can't really
I
bank
think we need
on
to
Martial if he gets injured again.
we need to scout one anyway, because if
Exactly.
Martial's
Yeah.
injured, we're screwed. We don't have anybody, so we need
Yeah. Yeah.
to get somebody
Maybe it's a French thing or something, because Varane seems to have the exact same thing. Gets injured all the time, every
else.
couple
Pogba
of
got
weeks.
injured all the time.
Yeah, like fuck knows. Maybe that whoever was doing that witch doctor shit is hits all of our French players apparently.
We seem to have lifted our curse of Argentinians though. Like, that seems to have gone. So
yeah,
that's one thing.
they're the star boys this season, aren't they?
So like that curse has gone, because like we had a history of like really shit Argentinian people like coming to us. So
we've got a heavy South American influence at the minute, like arguably some of our best players. So yeah, I'm loving it. The passion and the drive they bring, as well as the quality on the pitch. It's certainly welcome. I'm glad you mentioned Eric Ten Hag there when you was talking to us, because this kind of last bit before we get into the quick fire and predicting and stuff, I wanted to get both of your guys' final thoughts on Ten Hag's first 14 games in charge. How certain players have impressed you, who has surprised you in terms of low quality, how we address that in January, and who do we let go as well. So let's say you're the manager over this World Cup break now. What's your plan for the next 2 months? If you're Ten Hag now, Sam, what are the main issues you're addressing?
In January, I'm probably looking at if I can spend, which is doubtful at this point, but if we are to spend, he's probably looking at a right back and a striker. They're probably the 2 areas he's focused on, because he's said that in the press. Somebody asked him about Dallo and how happy he was. He said, yeah, but I need 2. I need 2 fullbacks for each one. Which basically means Wan-Bissaka is fucking done at this club, because he didn't even mention his name.
Yeah.
So
lethal.
I think he wants a right back. Who that is, I don't know. I know Dest has been chucked around. I know Dumfries was mentioned. I really like Tariq Lamptey, but he's not been linked, so I don't think there's anything in that. So yeah, that right back could be the option. And then yeah, the big thing is I'm sure he wants a striker because he clearly doesn't fancy Ronaldo. Ronaldo doesn't fancy to be here. Doesn't want to be in the team,
don't fancy
really.
him at the minute
yeah,
either.
so it's just not working for anybody. So I think a striker is the other thing. And then I know we've all got our favourites. I know Nick's like Sesko. I like Tammy Abraham. I know there's been shouts in the group for Ivan Toney. Like some really good options. So Gakpo, but again, he's more of a winger. But he can play striker, but yeah, I think he's more of a winger. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's what he'd be looking at for January. Over the actual World Cup, I think obviously he gets to work with a lot of players who probably aren't first teamers. So like Lindelof, for example, he's not going. So it'd be good to see what he can do with him, work with him. Maybe then he could start challenging Varane Alessandro. Or be.
Do you think we'll see them for the Forest game, Sam? Then players
probably.
You mentioned there.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And then you've got Donny. This might be his last chance. Like, if he works with him over this time period and gets him sharp and then gives him some opportunities into January, and then if it's not working, then maybe January is the time to pull the trigger. I know he said in the press, didn't he, the other day, because somebody asked him, is Donny a loan option? And he said no, he either makes it at this level or he goes.
And ruthless.
Yeah.
So this might be Donny's sort of last opportunity now. Like, work with Ten Hag over this period, see where he's at. If he can't make it for a couple of games into the Christmas period and then January, then maybe that's time to let Donny go. And then yeah, you've got Anthony Martial, who's seems to be on his way to full fitness. He's not going to the World Cup, so Ten Hag and Benny McCarthy, who apparently Rashford's been saying has been great and helped him with his finishing, work with Anthony Martial, get him absolutely fit and fire and ready to go. So as soon as we kick back into Nottingham Forest, he hits the ground running and stuff like that. So I think that's how Ten Hag's going to see things over this period. I don't see the Glazers allowing any spend in January, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I agree with that. What's the most important thing for you, Shreyas, to deal with, do you think, over this next break?
I think the most important thing during this break is to actually invest in the players who are not leaving right now. Like Jadon Sancho isn't leaving, Anthony Martial isn't leaving, Donny isn't leaving. So, and especially two of those names, Anthony Martial and Jadon Sancho, I think definitely we need to look into those guys. I think someone needs to, start teaching Sancho how to run at defenders again, because
Garnacho
yeah,
for sure.
because I think that's one of the most key aspects that we've been missing out on Sancho. And hopefully, he's able to come in, he's able to, turn things around for himself as well. Because at the start of the season, he was still playing decent in certain games, but suddenly his work rate and especially him coming off at the 70th minute mark every single game, it did start some speculations whether Ten Hag does not want Sancho at the club, or is he not a player he fancies, whether he is looking for someone else. So I think it's about time Sancho actually, starts stepping up a bit as well, because once again we're in a position where in the coming summer window we'll be seeing certain players leave as well, because Ten Hag is ruthless when it comes to his squad. So if Sancho, I think, doesn't perform well, if Martial isn't able to perform well in the remainder of the season, we could be seeing some big names leaving. We might actually be even seeing someone like Harry Maguire leaving. You never really know if Ten Hag, works the way he actually does, and we see Harry Maguire leave. So
I'm crossing everything.
Yeah.
Fucking leave.
So yeah, I think definitely. And another aspect where he should work on, I think, Facundo Pellistri. I think that's the last thing. Ten Hag
Couldn't go
definitely.
one show,
Yeah.
could he? Couldn't
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, yeah.
His
So-
agent wants to leave Shreyas. He doesn't want to be here. He wants to go.
On a loan. He said whether it's a loan or a transfer, it's not sure. So it could also just
Clinging on to
be
that.
it could also just be something from his agent just to ensure he starts getting some game time soon at United. So
I don't think
I
that'll
mean-
work with Ten Hag,
No.
that theory.
Yeah.
You can't
I'd
do.
be
You
like,
can't fuck
no,
with
mate.
that. No.
It's in a bit.
Right.
But I want to see him. I want to
Yeah,
see him. Don't get
yeah.
me wrong. I want to see him get game time. But I don't know if that's I wouldn't suggest that's the best way to go about it. To be honest, I think
you have to be patient because you look at like Garnacho's getting time now, but there's people like Zidane Iqbal who I'd like to see have time. He's not had any. Charlie Savage, not had any. I know Dan's favourite player, Shorty, he's been on the bench quite a lot recently. He's not got any time. You've got...
It's not even his favourite player, he's just because he called Shorty.
Well, he is now. He is now. He has to
You've been giving him.
You get short tire. Sorry, mate. It could be worse. You could have Tanif Chong. So it could be worse. There's players that I think would have deserved some minutes, and Palestri is among those. But Garnacho seems to be the only one who's getting minutes currently. So I don't think it's anything against Palestri personally. I just don't think any of the youth guys are going to get minutes. The guys who have gone out on loan, like Nick's favourite player, Ahmad. Do you want to speak about Ahmad yesterday, Nick?
Well, it wasn't planned.
Do you want, go on. I'll give you a treat. I'll give you a treat. Go on.
Thank you. On Ahmad Diallo. So, for anyone who didn't see it yesterday, Ahmad had an absolute sublime assist. I mean, if he had a Messi shirt on, everyone would have thought it was Lionel. Honestly, he falls down, his balance is correct, he skins about 3 or 4 players, feeds it through to the Sunderland striker, who I could not for the life of me tell you what his name is. But he fed it through to the striker, got a lovely assist there, and then equally, he gets it on the right-hand side in the second half, cuts in on his left foot and just curls an absolute fucking peach into the top left corner. Like, honestly, it's beautiful stuff.
Do you want me to,
and I'm telling you...
I've got the stats, unless you've got them in front of you as well.
No, you can absolutely hit me up with them stats, please.
He played 66 minutes, 32 touches, 1 goal, 1 assist, 18 out of 21 passes completed, 4 out of 5 ground duels, 1, 2 out of 3 take-ons completed. That's a pretty good run in that, man.
He is mustard, let me tell you. He is the star. He's a star boy. And I'm telling you, it just needs, sometimes when you have them spells in the Championship or a Sunderland Championship.
Yeah.
You have them kind of spells. You saw what Garner did for Forest as well. And then you project yourself into the team. I think he'll come back. I know I am. But I think he'll come back. It won't be January, obviously. It'll be summer. And I think he'll be a player to keep an eye on. Personally.
Isn't Hannibal at Birmingham? Did he play?
Hannibal's doing really well at Birmingham.
Did he play against Ahmad the other night?
Oh, that's a good point. I don't think so because I didn't see him or I didn't see any clips of him from there. But he's been doing really well at thing as well. So yeah, it's nice to see the youngsters getting some minutes and playing well. Definitely. The last point I wanted to ask on this, again involving the World Cup slightly. I think it was either you, Sam, or Severe that made a really good point. Like teams like Brazil, Portugal, France, England are going to go far in this tournament, which would include most of our players that are in the team. Are there worries that we could get some big injuries, and does that highlight the fact that even more how stupid it is having a World Cup in the winter?
Maybe not England, but
round 16 Southgate. It's in a bit.
Politically, like I would like some minutes when we start doing a World Cup coverage to talk about the political situation that is going on with a World Cup, but I won't get into it because we're talking about the United Fulham preview. Mm-hmm. But the logistics of it is fucking stupid because you've awarded it to a country. Let's just put the bribery and stuff aside for 1 minute. You awarded it to a country who, in the summer, I think is hotter than India. And Shreyas has said on many occasions how hot it is in fucking India. Like, was it 45 degrees?
40 degrees.
Yeah, 45 degrees on a good day. Sometimes it's 47 and 48.
Exactly.
So...
Right, that's India. So Qatar is like, I think Qatar's like closer to 50 in the summer.
Yeah, could be.
It's like
definitely.
you awarded a World Cup to a country where you can't play, you can't be outside in the summer. So that's one thing. Why have we done that? Did somebody else look into this previously? And then they've shifted it and just basically ruined every other European season now to the fact that they all have to stop. And it's not even like they get a break. Like, they have to stop, and then literally within a week, they are on a plane flying to Qatar to play. So they don't even get time to train, to recovery, any of that stuff. So that's all that. And then so injuries are going to happen. And then literally, as soon as they finish the World Cup, next game, within a week, they're playing. And it's just...
Arabao, innit? 23rd, I think.
I will be fucking surprised if we don't lose 4 or 5 players due to injury.
Yeah,
I'll be surprised.
I think Yeah.
Like,
Varane being one of them as well. I think that's...
Casemiro, Anthony,
Martinez.
Oh,
Maguire,
that'd be the big one.
Maguire, don't give a toss. That's fine.
Shaw,
Rashford. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a risky game. So, yeah, the timing's absolutely insane. The fact that we've got no break before, no break after is absolutely insane as well. We've just got to play a full half season straight afterwards. Like, it's just absolutely insanity. So, yeah, the organisers have got... Like, I watched the FIFA corruption documentary yesterday, and it's absolute insane.
I've not managed to watch it yet.
Honestly, God, it's baffling how badly this company's ran. So it doesn't surprise me on one hand, but also it's stupidly organised the way they've done this. But
yeah,
this is where we're at.
It really is. Any thoughts on that, Shreyas, before we get into the quick fire questions you want to share?
Yeah, I think having the World Cup at this stage definitely, doesn't make any sense altogether. And I think even if, like we see someone like Argentina, someone like Portugal, or, country along those lines winning, I wouldn't really say that, this is a World Cup where they won because they played to the best of their ability, because most of the teams have their key players out. Most of them are injured. I mean, Germany practically don't even have a striker because Werner and the rest of the players are injured. Sadio Mane is still a big concern for the World Cup. So that's Senegal's, ace man out for the World Cup.
No, sorry to think they're taking him, but they're taking him injured.
Yeah, exactly. So
England as well. We've taken Kyle Walker, who's just had surgery, and he's not played since. We're taking Calvin Phillips, who's just returned on Wednesday and played 60 minutes. He's been out for 7 weeks. We're taking
Song Jong-min had an orbital fracture.
Exactly. He's going as well.
Somebody's gonna get serious. Like, somebody could end up with like a career-threatening injury. Like, that's how.
Reminds me of the Haribo advert where he goes, "Calm down, for someone's gonna get really hurt." Yeah. That's what's gonna happen.
Somebody's gonna end up with like an Achilles or something like that. Yeah. They're out for like a year, maybe longer. Like, and somebody might get injured and you just might not be never. You see players when they get an injury and they're just never the same after that.
Yeah.
That's what they're risking right now. So.
I think that's why, once again, it is really, really bad for the players. I think they've definitely been overplayed, and except that I think it breaks the rhythm of the clubs as well, because you've just got the practically the season going. Your team has started to integrate well. This I think this is the phase till Christmas where you can actually see teams coming together and making that races to the top 4 or getting into the top 8. And now the season is pretty much disrupted, and we are going to see a lot of games now within a week. We're going to, and having I would say Barcelona in the Europa League doesn't help our case either, because that's 2 added games that we have to play now. And hopefully we don't see any injuries, especially to players like Martinez or even Dalot, because unless we see investment, it is going to be really tough for us to cope up with those sort of losses.
You mentioned Dalot there. Sorry, just had a thought in my head. I've just got a vision of like next when we get back from the World Cup and we're playing them like tough games in January, just a skeleton at right back, just not fucking moving, because he's been that overplayed. He's played for Portugal. Like, the lad's just never going to get a rest. By the time it gets to the end of the season, he's just going to be an old man, like, just fucked. It's like legs fucked, knees fucked.
Right, everybody report for pre-season training, and Dalot's wheeling in on a chair, just fucking... Just absolutely done in.
Oh, God. Oh, wow.
Buy a fucking right back. Jesus.
Oh, shit. I pulled my mic out.
Do you remember when I was going on for like months and months about a DM? We're going to get to this point about a right back. Yeah. Because fucking hell. Yeah.
I've got a really, really good joke in my head about Dalot, but I'll tell you off camera because I can't say it on thing. Yeah.
Is it Daniel Sloss level of
It's Slosh level, yeah. It's Slosh level, yeah. I'll save it. Right, let's do quick fire questions then. With that being said, will we keep a clean sheet tomorrow?
No.
Fucking hell, he was straight
in. No.
I'm gonna go yeah.
Okay. Does Alejandro Garnacho start?
Yes.
Garnacho.
Yes.
Yeah. Kate, by the way, my girlfriend says it like that, and that's all I hear now. Every time she goes, Garnacho. She goes, Garnacho. It's stuck in my head. Will Pereira get a goal or an assist?
Well, I said clean sheet, so no.
Yeah.
No, he does. Who starts, Lindelof or Maguire?
Lindelof.
Lindelof.
I hope so.
I hope Maguire is also thinking that he doesn't want to risk an injury before the World Cup.
Yeah, I thought he already had a big injury by the way he's playing.
By
How
the way,
many goals
by the
will we
way,
score?
By the way, he's not played for the team.
Yeah. Good point. How many goals will we score?
2.
3.
And will Anthony Martial score?
Yeah.
Yes, Bagman.
Tony Marshall scores again.
Again.
Right, predicted 11s. Sam, do you want to inform yours?
I thought you go first normally.
I do, but I'm switching it up.
Okay. Martin
Keep it
Dubravka,
fresh.
no. David De Gea. You know what? He's alive. We saw him at the Villa game. He's fucking alive. He actually exists.
Yeah.
It's taken 14 games, but we've
Anyone
finally
who's
seen
got
him.
your milk cartons with
Yeah.
Dubravka's face on it, you can take them off now.
He's
we're
alive.
fine.
He's fine.
Yeah.
He's there. I actually saw him play for once. Yeah. David De Gea, Dallo, because who else are we gonna play? Oh no, he's shit. He's suspended.
No,
He's
yeah,
suspended.
yeah.
Isn't it? Fuck.
Yeah.
Yes.
He gets a rest. Yes, I think Malacia goes there. Lindelof, Martinez, Shaw, because Malacia is on the right hand side. Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno, Rashford, Martial, Garnacho.
I can't wait to tell you this joke, honestly.
Right.
Oh,
Have you ruined
I
yourself?
can't say it on camera. Yeah,
Alright.
but I cannot wait. It's so good. It's so good. I was tempted to put it in the chat then, but I thought no, because it'll just derail the show.
Yeah.
Shreyas, predicted 11s, please, if you can,
Yeah.
and we'll get through this.
De Gea, Malacia, Lindelof and Martinez, Luke Shaw of the left, then Casemiro, Eriksen and Bruno, and Garnacho, Rashford and Martial.
Garnacho, Rashford, Martial. Rashford on the right again.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That right-hand side just completely shut. If we have Rashford on the right and then Malacia
Who
on
else? Who else are we gonna play though? There's nobody else.
the...
We can't. He's not.
No,
I would like him to play, but he's not going to. Shreyas, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he'll make a mad tactical change or something.
Maybe.
I have no idea.
Maybe.
I'll go De Gea. Why have I got Dallo in there? Dallo's not fucking playing, man. He's suspended. I think this is not what I want. I think Lindelof will start at right back.
Oh no!
I think Maguire and Lisandro, and then Luke Shaw at left back, Bruno, Casemiro, Eriksen mix up the midfield, and then I think Sancho is back. I think Rashford starts up top and Garnacho starts on the left.
Tony Marshall
That's
doesn't
what I
start.
think happens. No, I don't think he starts because I think he came back against Villa, didn't he? I don't know. He might do. I think it's a toss up between if Sancho's not there, Rashford will go out onto the right, and Martial will be up top. But I'm just gonna go with something different.
I've got Ralph Ragnick Champions League flashbacks with Lindelof on the right hand side.
I know. That's so bad, so bad. When that team came out, I'll never forget our reaction.
It's like going, what? What is he doing?
First and foremost, is it Maguire at right back or is it fucking Lindelof? Because that's when it's like, Jesus Christ. Score predictions.
2-0.
3-1.
United.
What? Sam, you go first. What?
2-0.
Right, okay. Shreyas. 3-1. Thank you for the diagrams that you're showing with your hands. I'm going to go with 2-0 because Mitrovic is out. I don't really see a goal threat from him. And our attackers are looking on it at the minute. So I think we'll get a couple of goals. And I think Garnacho, if he starts, we'll get on the score sheet. And I think maybe Martial if he starts as well.
I'll go.
We'll get a goal.
I'll go Martial and Rashford scorers.
Nice.
I think
that's,
Garnacho. I
could
think
be accurate.
Garnacho gets an assist as well.
Garnacho. Shreyas.
Martial, Garnacho, and Bruno.
I love it. Bruno played really well, I think, in the second half last game. Showed how much we missed him. So I'm glad he's back.
Play him in the 10. Play him in the fucking 10 as well. Don't put him out on the right.
Yeah.
That's another good point you made there, actually, because you could put him back out on the right again. And don't want to see that shit. He can't play on the right-hand side. Just put him in the middle.
Two rules.
Put fucking Donny on the right-hand side.
Don't put Bruno on the right and don't put Donny in the 10. It doesn't fucking work. You're going to play Donny, he's got to be in the 8, and then Bruno has to be in the 10. That's the only way. Like, you can't fucking play Donny in the 10. It doesn't work.
Again, it's another interesting lineup to guess for tomorrow. That concludes the show for today, guys. Thank you to everyone watching. Please subscribe to this channel and like the video if you're excited for the game tomorrow. We will have a live watch-along. We're back with a watch-along at 3:30 when the squads get announced. So make sure you come and join me for that. I'll be on TikTok and YouTube as well. So either one, come and join me. For updates on Manchester United, transfer news, clips from the show, just look at our socials or head to our socials, so to say, on the bottom of the graphic. All the handles are there. And check us out on there. And Sam, do you want to run us through the Movember campaign before we head off?
Yeah, so me and Nick are growing really sort of on the registered tashes, or in my case, Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, so we're raising money for the mental health charity Mind, which is a UK-based mental health charity. I know everybody watches around the world, like the people we get around the world, but I'm sure you've got mental health charities where you're from, so we're just making it logistically easier to donate to one in the UK. But if you can't donate, which I get everybody's in different situations, in a cost of living crisis, etc. If you could share it with friends, share it with family, put it on your socials so other people could donate, that would just help us out just as much. The link is in the description. So yeah, we've got, what date are we on? We're on the 11th, 12th today? What are we on?
12th today.
12th of November. So we've got nearly over half the month left, so you've got plenty of time to get your donations in. We're trying to hit £200. We're on nearly 100 right now, so we're almost halfway. So yeah, make a donation and help us out, and it's all going to a good cause. And me and Nick will look like dicks for another half of the month, so enjoy that.
Sam look like a dick anyway, but he just looks like an extra dick now.
Way,
Wee, had to get it in there. Yeah, thank you for coming on though, Sam.
Yeah, no problem.
Pleasure.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, and Shreyas, always a pleasure. Thank you very much. I know it's getting late over there, so I appreciate your time. Yes, a lot of stars.
Dark time, Shreyas. Well done.
Dark time. Yes, it's dark. Night time. Daytime. All right, we'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care. Peace.